Welcome to CivilNet. My guests today are Yeghoyan and Anush Babajanyan, who are the coordinators for Beyond Borders. Anush, Anna, thank you for joining us. Welcome to CivilNet.
Thank you, Maya.
Hello. Anna, could you tell us first of all what Beyond Borders is?
Beyond Borders is the program of Hrant Dink Foundation. It is a compilation of two different activities, a travel grant and a fellowship scheme, which are both a part of a bigger program funded by EU called Support to Armenia-Turkey Normalization Process. Beyond Borders is a long-term dream of the foundation and many counterparts from Armenia and Turkey who have been striving throughout the recent 4 or 5 years to build constituency and to build support around this idea of people-to-people contact and exchange between the two people of Armenia and Turkey in different spheres of activity, in social, economic, apart from tourism and political activity and personal type of visits. Many kind of programs and projects and ideas are possible to be realized within the scope of Beyond Borders.
So more substantive relationship building between the two peoples of Armenia and Turkey. You also have a program, the Turkey-Armenia Fellowship Scheme. Anush, could you tell us what this is about? Because we've been here, I've been following it, you know, I've been seeing your posts on Facebook, and people actually have been calling us to find out some more information. So what is the Turkey-Armenia Fellowship Scheme about?
Well, the fellowship scheme is exactly part of this Beyond Borders program. Beyond Borders has two main components, the travel grant and the fellowship scheme. So I guess today we're going to talk more about the fellowship scheme. And this is a program for professionals both from Turkey and Armenia who will be able to travel. For example, Armenian professionals will be able to travel to Turkey and work there for 4 to 8 months in a specific host organization. And during this time, the Hrant Dink Foundation will cover all their costs, including accommodation, monthly stipend. What else was there?
Yeah, the fellowship scheme is somehow a professional exchange which enables professionals from Armenia and from Turkey to gain certain kind of experience and also fulfill their professional career goals in a specific hosting organization in different fields that are already somehow selected and contacted by the foundation.
So there are host organizations both in Armenia and Turkey. How many host organizations? I mean, for example, when I hear what you're telling me, I would think of researchers, historians, perhaps political scientists, but could a photographer, a movie maker, a filmmaker also apply?
Currently, we have been in contact with 25 organizations and institutions in Armenia and 63 in Turkey in a variety of fields, starting from academia or classical research organizations and think tanks. Sometimes, very often, for example, in Turkey, we have universities like Boğaziçi University, Sabancı University, and many other very well-known universities, and their research centers are looking for fellows, as well as independent research organizations like CRRC in Armenia, or NGOs that are also, apart from their daily activity, doing certain types of researches within various scope. For example, we are working with such organizations in Armenia like Pink Armenia, like Helsinki Citizens Assembly in Vanadzor, and trying to make it quite diverse. So it's not only for scholars and people who are working specifically on the topic of Armenia-Turkey relations, but also for professionals in other fields. We are having such organizations like Nar Photos in Istanbul that is looking for photographers that would like to join their team and both contribute, but also I think there is a lot to learn from this kind of very well-known organizations. Some of the museums have opened their doors for fellows, like NEPAC, the Contemporary Art Center of Yerevan, or the Yerevan Modern Art Museum, and in Yerevan and in Istanbul, many organizations.
Sure. Anush, it's interesting. When you approach these organizations to be hosts for Turkish scholars or counterparts, what were the reactions here?
They were very different. Some of them were totally happy, and then after some thinking, they would say maybe no, because some questions may arise. And then others were so open and simply welcoming without worrying about anything, any conflict, any problem with a Turkish person working in their organization. And there are 25 organizations from Armenia and 63 in Turkey.
Why the disparity in numbers?
Well, first of all, Turkey is a much bigger country.
Okay.
There are many more bigger cities that have, for example, universities or institutions that are interested in hosting fellow. In fact, there is a certain need of maturity and readiness for hosting a fellow, because this is somebody that is going to be based in the organization between 4 to 8 months, and the organization should have a substantial amount of tasks to delegate to this person, and also certain kind of a support structure to assist this person within the tasks. Very often in Armenia we have met amazing organizations that are doing great work, but because of limit of resources, even such basic things like space for the fellow to work have become certain obstacles for that. But also we believe it is quite balanced, in the sense that Turkey is a much bigger country and Armenia is a much smaller one, and having 25 organizations that are open.
Still a substantial number.
It is a substantial number. They are from 3 cities in Armenia. We have host organizations mainly in Yerevan, but also few in Gyumri and in Vanadzor. And we are also very happy for this kind of diversification that we could make.
So everything is not centralized only in Yerevan.
Yeah, and we have been
neither
specifically
in Turkey.
working.
Yes,
in Turkey it's also spread out.
Istanbul, Ankara, Diyarbakir.
We have a women organization in Van, we have an organization in Çanakkale. So we're trying really to reach out, because it is not only about the exchange of a professional or development of certain persons' professional competencies, but this is also a way, an indirect way, to bring this culture of talking to each other, of dialogue and of cooperation to these cities, and to have, for example, somebody in Gyumri every day coming to work in a journalist center, for example, can give so much more to these journalists and to generally the audience of the newspaper than having a French person being there, because we are also well aware that there are much more fears connected to this and much more doubts. And we believe that through this project, somehow we can fight some of these stereotypes and maybe challenge people. We are not saying that this will be an absolutely easy process. We foresee a lot of problems, and we are trying to think about different scenarios, how to further support the selected fellows already during their fellowship, starting from basic things like visa and on to different kind of conflicts that could happen, but we don't look for easy ways.
Is this the first time that the Hrant Foundation is doing such an initiative? Because we have seen a lot of cross-border initiatives within Beyond Borders framework. There was a photo exhibition, right, where photographers and movie makers from Turkey and Armenia paired up and did, you know.
Yeah, so yes, this is not the first attempt at creating a dialogue. The Hrant Foundation has had a history of that, including the project where we worked, where photographers from Armenia and Turkey worked together on multimedia pieces, including the journalists exchange program, which will actually happen very soon in July. A group of Turkish journalists will arrive to Armenia, and this has been going on for several years. So this is only a part of those projects that Hrant Foundation continues to do.
So how many spaces, how many, within the Turkey-Armenia Fellowship Scheme, how many fellowships are you granting?
We will be granting 18 fellowships.
18?
For 2 countries together.
So 9 from each? Or
9 from each, or it might depend also on the quality of applications and the matching between the applications and the hosting organization.
So is there a deadline that, when is this program going to actually?
The 20th of July.
So July 20 is the deadline for all of those who are interested in applying to be a fellow and to go and work between 4 to 8 months in Turkey and vice versa.
Yes.
and really encourage them to, like people, professionals who are interested in this, would really encourage them to begin this process as soon as possible, because they will need to fill out a very detailed application form. They will need recommendations. So for all this, they need to start as soon as possible.
And
our website is
hrantdink.org.
hrantdink.org, where they will see the information right from the first page, and then they can go to the application. They should read carefully through the regulations, because and only that, after that, they should write to us to fellowship@hrantdink.org for details, because a lot of times we receive questions which are already answered in the regulation.
Right.
So it's very detailed. Yeah, and apply by July 20th.
Yeah, we will take another month after the deadline to compile the applications, to organize the assessment process. We are going to do like a primary technical check, but then also the hosting organizations will have a strong say in selection of their candidates.
Sure.
And if there is more than 18 matches, let's say, between the hosting organization and the applicants, we will also have an independent selection committee composed of 3 professionals from Armenia and Turkey, who will help us in final selection of the future fellows, who can start their fellowships already in September, October, and depending on which fellowship specifically, which organization they are applying for, it might vary from 4 to 8 months, and during these 4 to 8 months, I think they can really get to know the local culture, local people. The project is also supporting their language course, so if there is a wish and if there is an interest, they can also get to know the language of the hosting country or all the hosting people, because it's not always that the country and the ethnicity are the same.
Right.
And yeah.
So exciting initiative. Thank you very much for taking the time to come and tell us about this program, and to encourage all of those who are interested in Armenia and Turkey to apply for the fellowship through your website, hrantdink.org. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to remind my viewers that my guests today were from the Hrant Dink Foundation, Yeghoyan and Anush Babajanyan. Follow CivilNet.